do a live Q&A after this quick little intro and some CSS critiques as well. So yesterday we talked about running faster, all the different ways and distances and strategies around that. And I realized I failed to fully answer the faster 4-mile timed run. So let me just rehash real quick. Somebody had asked me, he'd already gotten his 1.5 miles where he wanted it to be. I think it's sub 9. He's just working on his 4 mile, somewhere in the low 30s, between 30, 31 minutes. Wants it a little bit faster, 27, 28, which is a logical goal. I think I always try to get people to strive for that pace, just under a 7-minute mile for 4 or 5 mile runs. And I said, run more 4-mile runs. Now, that didn't explain what he was already doing. We're already running 25, 30. I think he was at like 28, 30 miles a week. And that was a mix of hill runs, sprints, goal pace, track workouts, bleachers, beach runs, mile repeats, so those were already on the table all week. And so I failed to mention that. And his answer was, should I just do more repeats? Should I do more goal pace? Should I do some zone 2? And yeah, he probably could have done all those. My answer was really simple. And it was, what you need to do is get better at running 4-mile timed runs. And he kind of chuckled at me. I said, no, I'm serious. Like on mobility day, when we do mobility day, it's up to you. You can do it before or after. I want you to do a 4-mile timed run, just like you're getting timed for real. And you create a strategy around how you do that. And every week you discover something a little new. Like, hey, my pace slowed down on that 3rd mile. I might need to work on some mile repeats and maintain that pace a little better, or just need to suck it up and run a little harder. I bonked on that last mile. Maybe I need some fuel, and figure out fueling strategies on what you need to do to perform better on that. Usually it's a pacing discovery. Like you figure out that, hey, I can start off nice and easy and then negative split it on the way back. That's a logical option for you. Some people like, hey, if I'm going to run a 28, I want to hit a 7-minute first mile. I want to hit a 7-minute second and third mile. And then if I got anything left in the tank, I'm going to put it on the line on that last half mile. That's logical as well. So that's what you discover when you start putting in that test as part of a normal workout. And then here's the psychological part about it. One of the reasons why we will start every swim workout with a 500-yard swim, because that's a test you got to get good at doing. And it just takes the anxiety off. Like, one of the things I love about putting a 500-yard swim as part of the warm-up is it becomes a warm-up. Your test to get to certain Spec Ops training programs, a 500-yard, 500-meter, is now mentally and physically a warm-up to you. That does a lot for how you take that test in the future. You just become more professional at it, right? Same way for the 4-mile timed run. You do a couple of those, and he was only adding 1 4-mile timed run a week, and in 3 to 4 weeks, he was at that sub 28, 27, 30 zone, just because he figured out how to do that. So I realized yesterday, whenever I answered that as, hey, just run 4 miles, that's not a complete answer whenever I was answering that question yesterday. So I wanted to complete that answer and make sure you understood that that person was already running the prerequisite hill days, sprint days, goal pace running days, beach days, doing a mobility day, maybe even a zone 2 on the weekend. So he was already building up 28, 30 plus miles, and we just put him over to the top with actually 4-mile time run tests. So there you go. That's the complete answer on crushing 4-mile run tests. And you can find it still at that running plan to help you get through to and through selection. And this is just a free article you guys can check out. You don't have to follow it to a T, but give it a shot. If you're having a hard time with your 1.5-mile pace and your 4-mile run pace, check this out. This can get you there. And if you wanted to add a 4-mile timed run to it, because I did not add a 4-mile timed run to this test, I don't think. Maybe I did. I have to look at it. Sometimes I'll do this on a Friday. We'll do a 4-mile timed run. I think we built up to it. 2-mile run, 2-mile run, 3-mile run. Yeah. So, yeah, check it out. I think I might have put a 3-mile run in there just for whatever reason. But yeah, check that out. I'll probably go back in and change that to 4-mile runs just to hit this point again. But yes, can it be that simple? Yes, but it's not that simple. Okay, does that make sense? All right, you guys got questions? Send them. I'm happy to answer them. Also, I will show some CSS videos today. Let's see here. My messages. Boom. All right, so we are set for CSS videos. Let me just go through a few questions and get these cleaned up, and then I will show some CSS videos. During the egg beater, Mr. Singh asks, I see many videos of people rotating their right leg counterclockwise and their left leg clockwise, but I do it opposite. Is that acceptable? Well, here's the problem. I think if you think the egg beater is this, you're wrong. The egg beater is this, right? You have to be creating downward force with your feet. It's not whipping your legs in a circle like this to actually produce downward force so you stay up. Okay, if you're treading, you got to push down the water so you go up. Okay, so think of it more, instead of this egg beater name, it's really more of an alternating breaststroke kick. So you're going to be kicking with the inside of your foot and inside of your shin straight down, and then you bring it up straight down. And that is more of the egg beater kick that you need to learn. If you had a magic marker on your foot, it would look like an ellipse, vertical ellipse, not a round circle that's horizontal. It's more of a vertical ellipse. And if you go to that article I wrote about the egg beater, treading might be a mobility issue article, you'll see some stretches that will help you get into that position a little bit better, as well as a little graphic. In fact, you know what? It's worth showing. I'm going to show it. All right, because this is where so many people screw up in there. So Stu Smith Fitness is just an article. You go down here and you guys see this, right? So if you can see this, this is what many people think the egg beater is. It's this horizontal circle that goes round and round, right? If you're not doing this with your feet, you see how he's pushing down with the inside of his foot, almost like he's kicking a soccer ball to the bottom of the pool with the inside of his foot. Okay, that produces downward force, so you go up. All right, that's about as difficult in physics as I will get explaining how this works. You got to push down, in order to go up. And then you bring it up over here, you bring it up, heels up, and then you kick out that foot, push the shin and the foot down. You got yourself the egg beater. So watch some better videos of someone actually teaching it versus just showing people do it, because it may look like people are spinning their legs in a circle. Just to the human eye, that's kind of what you see. But when it's slow motion, you realize people are pushing down with the inside of their foot. They're not going in a circle. All right, I'm doing your Army Spec Ops program. Let me see if I have something here. Oh, look at there. Um, Plan on finishing it right before I enlist. Should I do it again when I start basic training? What should I do once we are in but haven't graduated yet? I tell you what, if you're not going to have time to do this at Army basic training. You might be able to squeeze in some of the workouts. So my advice is take a notebook and just write down some of your favorite workouts that don't involve uh, anything, right? Just push-ups, sit-ups, plank poses, squats, lunges, just calisthenics. You might be able to add some of those in there, but if you think you're going to have time to train on your own after basic training day or a boot camp day, you're really kind of mistaken. You don't have that kind of time. Plus, you're going to be up on your feet all day. You're going to be tired. My advice is do this. If you feel like you're not getting enough from your basic training, add some more to it. Whether it's in the morning before you go work out, treat it like a little warm up, get a couple hundred push ups and squats and all that stuff before you go do the workout. Or, the last thing you probably want to do is before bed, because that'll just jack you up. And next thing you know, you can't go to sleep. So, yeah, finish it before you enlist. Enjoy boot camp, because boot camp's not going to be that hard for you. It will be somewhat challenging. The Army boot camp's a lot harder than the Navy boot camp. So you have less of a opportunity to get out of shape in the Army and Marine Corps style boot camps, whereas Navy and Air Force, you can get deconditioned for sure if you're going like a spec ops job. Hope that answers you, straightens it out a little bit. How does strength training help to get better run times, and where do you program it? Good question. I mean, it does help. I mean, it helps you to be more durable, helps you to work on power. If you throw in some speed work in there, that's going to be strength power combination. So yeah, it's going to just build muscles, make your joints more durable, things like that. Muscles stronger, bones stronger. So that's where it comes in. Now, if you're, where do we program it? We program it all the time. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the programs we do, but this right here, seasonal tactical fitness periodization, that touches on all the elements of fitness: strength, power, speed, agility, mobility, flexibility, muscle stamina, endurance, run, ruck, swim, and grip. All of those are programmed into a year of training. And we maintain that through a system called block periodization. So depending on what your strengths are, you focus on your weakness and work to maintain your strength. So you have a primary goal of always focused on your weakness. And your secondary goal is to maintain your strengths. And then when you get to a cycle where it is your strength, that's good too. Work on your strengths, see if you can get them a little better, but you're always maintaining / improving your weaknesses along the way. That's the system that I use. So are you asking me where do you program it? Because I would say here's where a lot of people make mistakes. And I've seen it done, but it's very rare. It has to be done perfectly with big time focus on recovery and sleep and nutrition. It's very difficult to get stronger and be a better runner at the same time. Now, upper body might be a little bit different. Legs, very hard to get a better squat, deadlift, those type of lifts while you are trying to improve your running pace for longer distance timed runs. Shorter distance, probably not that big of an effect. Sprinting, definitely the two work hand in hand. So speed, power, speed, agility, all work hand in hand. You can work on those together. So your running is just a little bit different. Where you're trying to do goal pace, endurance conditioning, sometimes the strength training will interfere with that, and the endurance will interfere with the strength training. It just happens. Can it be done together? Yes, but I just think there are better ways to do it. It's difficult to do together. I don't want to say it's impossible because there's always somebody saying, "Hey, I got a better run time and I was doing strength training." Hey, that's great. Most people can't do that. Maybe it's because they don't know how to train, or they're just not capable of doing that. They have a very strong strength of, let's say, endurance, and it's really difficult them to put on mass and put on muscle, or vice versa. Really big, powerful guy have a really hard time walking up a flight of stairs, working on his endurance. And it's going to take some time out of the gym to work on that endurance. So you need some cycles to specifically focus on your weakness, whatever that weakness is. And then, every 4 or 5 weeks or so, go back, maintain your strengths. I'm telling you, it works. I've seen guys put on mass, get stronger, and get faster and better PT scores by using that block periodization. It's something we do in the winter. In fact, I have a program called Increase Strength and Crush the PST. It's a doable process, and put on body weight mass. Where can I find the 12 Weeks to Buds workout? Well, you can find it in a book, and you can find that at Amazon. I no longer sell it on my website. It's called The Complete Guide to Navy SEAL Fitness. The 12 Weeks to Buds workout is the subtitle of that book. Let's see. I swim 2 miles a week. On Wednesday, I swim 750, 500 CSS, 250. Should I cut the breaststroke out? I don't know why you need the breaststroke, but it's not hurting you. I mean, it's not helping you, I don't think, unless you need to practice breaststroke to become a better egg beater. That's what a lot of people do. If you can get a really good breaststroke kick, you can now use that breaststroke kick, alternate it, and you got yourself the egg beater. So it really kind of depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, it depends on what you're training for. I mean, 2 miles a week is fine. That's 4,000 yards. If you're preparing for buds, I'd probably get a little more than that, be honest with you, and swim 4 or 5 times a week. Try to get up to 8 to 10,000, and with a lot of pool skills, treading, drown proofing, things like that. Does a fast 4 mile always equal a fast 1.5 mile? No. Or vice versa? No. Also, what is the best way to build your aerobic base in your opinion? Good questions. No, I've seen people who can crush a mile and a half, like that one gentleman who was, could do a 6-minute mile for a mile and a half, but couldn't do a 7-minute mile for 4. I mean, it didn't take long for him to go from 31, 32 to 28. Like I said, just needed to practice some of that distance a little more. Yeah, Calvin, if you're preparing for buds, you need to swim more. Get on a program that actually has swimming in it 5-6 days a week. Um, but you don't need to swim much more than 10K, in my opinion. Also, what's the best way to build your aerobic base, in your opinion? Multiple ways. It depends. Some people will do aerobic base with zone 2 running. Um, those are usually lighter people who are not new to running. Maybe they're just getting back in shape, or they've just done something else that kept them light versus muscular. But if you're a bigger guy, over 200 pounds, and trying to figure out how to run better at mile and a half and 4 miles and beyond and rucking, um, you need to do multiple forms of cardio. Something I mentioned yesterday is consider the triathlon method, right? You can get your fast runs done, and the other 2/3 of your cardio, biking and swimming, can be part of your zone 2 aerobic base type training. Nothing wrong with that. Um, you just want to get your heart rate up to that, what you would consider a zone 2 level, which isn't much. I mean, it's heart rate discussion. You're still able to run and have a conversation. Hard to do that in the pool, obviously, but you'll know it when you feel it. If you're built up from beginner and built a base on calisthenics but lack strength aspect quite a bit, will winter lift cycle be best? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would probably go with the fall first, just because it is a logical progression into lifting. So if you have this calisthenic base, which I coach all the time, especially to new people, say let's work on calisthenics and see how that works, and make pull-ups easier with bands and stuff like that. Let's master the body first. Then we go into dumbbells and weight vests, and we reduce the reps by adding some weight. Then we start adding in some barbells, and next thing you know, we're in the winter lift cycle, and it's all lifting. I mean, you still maintain your cals and cardio a little bit. The way we do it in our system is it's not a true lift cycle, right? This is a tactical lift cycle where you warm up with calisthenics, a little bit of cardio, you go lift hard, heavy, and then you cool down with some cardio. That has been a way we've done it for well over 25 years now, and it works. So, yes, that's how I would do that. Your calisthenics are solid. You're doing like Murph level calisthenics. Time to ramp it up and cut those reps in half, add some weight, and cut those reps by 3/4, add more weight. You got yourself a nice little winter lift cycle. How deep are pools and buds for drown proofing? I've been doing 12, 14 feet pools. They're 9 feet deep. So there you go. Let me see. Is 20 miles a week and run only one fast 4 mile, is that all right? Well, it depends. I mean, if you're at 10 miles a week, no, it's not all right. Um, you need to build up to 20 miles a week and then add a 4 mile timed run to it when you feel like you're ready to it. It's all right. It's not bad. I mean, I personally, I like to be over the 30s, with folks, just to have them a little bit more durable on their running. So where, it's not a gut check to run a 4 mile timed run fast, so, that's great if you can do that and keep it under 30. But, most people, I would say, feel a little better being at that high 30, low 40 range before they ship out. You know, have I seen people do it and never reach 30 miles? Absolutely. Have I seen people run 50 and not make it through buds? Absolutely. So, you need to kind of figure out what's the best for you. If you can run a fast mile and a half to get to the training, good job. If you can run a fast 4-mile timed run to get through the training without it being a gut check, and that's simply just, I would say, 28 minutes or a little bit less. 26 to 28 is kind of that sweet spot, because you got 32 minutes to fail it. You got 31 in second phase and 30 in third phase. So you want to be under 30 on those 4-mile timed runs. Hair in my face. So that's where you want to be. And you want some durability in your running so you can handle those impacts. So some volume is helpful. How would you go about increasing mass while trying to decrease run times? 2 and 5. I just told you. I wouldn't do it at the same time. It's hard to do. You got to really overeat. The simple answer is you have to eat. Like if you're trying to lift weights, it's hard to gain weight even when you're just lifting, right? It takes an extra 2,000 calories, 3,500 calories a week to be able to gain 1 pound surplus, right? And that's with your workouts. Now, if you're adding in 20 miles a week of running, that's a lot of calories that you're burning. Probably another, I don't know, shoot. What's probably about 100 calories in a mile, if I'm correct. 20-minute walks about 100 calories. A mile might be about 100 calories. So it's another 2,000 calories that you need to add to that week just to maintain your weight with that added cardio. So you gotta look at it as your energy expenditure for the day. It's hard to gain weight when you are doing a lot of extra cardio. You just got to eat more. So that's the answer. How do you go about doing it? Eat more. You can still run and do lifting, but you got to eat a lot more. Hey, Stu, is it acceptable to slightly kick your feet when trying to float face down? Yes, absolutely. I find my legs sink. Yeah, little dolphin kicks. I'll show some videos of it. It's pretty basic. But yeah, you can just do little dolphin kicks to stay up, and then you got to do a dolphin kick to pull your head up to breathe, or turn your head up to breathe. Get yourself up to the surface. On Wednesday, I swim. I think you already sent that to me. Do you have Coast Guard basic prep program or one that would work? I've heard there's a lot of swimming and then even more in the pipeline, especially rescue swimmer. Well, I do have a rescue swimmer program. I don't think I have a copy of it here. But I would tell you this. The Navy PST workout will help you with all the swimming that is in basic, plus the calisthenics, plus the running. It's a really good basic program for kind of phase one of tactical fitness, I call it, getting to the training. It will help you with the standards that are required at Coast Guard school or basic. But rescue swimmer, you're going to need to take it up a notch, I think, because that's a hard program. There's a reason why those guys are freaking heroes. It's a very hard program. So make sure you're swimming. Thoughts on Navy EOD? I love it. We got plenty of Navy EOD folks that come through here, and they're great, men and women. What common mistakes do candidates make during the PST prep that reduce their chances? Sorry if this is a repeated question. My advice is check out the PST Clinic article, because I wrote this article because of all the mistakes I've seen people make during the PST. And it's just a way to make sure you don't do them. So check out this article. It breaks down all 5 exercises and gives you techniques. Where a lot of people go wrong is pacing from swimming, sit-ups, and running. That's probably the number one biggest mistake, is just they fail to have a pace and they just burn themselves out and get really slow, or maybe start off too fast on sit-ups and can't maintain that pace for the next minute and a half because they cranked out 40 sit-ups in 30 seconds. All right. So somebody says, I just want to say your lightweight shoulder workout's been very helpful in removing nagging shoulder pain. So simple and so effective. Thank you. I learned it from physical therapy. I screwed up my shoulder, and they had me doing those dumbbells and with bands. And I loved it so much, I just incorporated it into all of my upper body days. Still do it today. And I've been doing that since about a month before my daughter was born. So about 28 years ago. So I've been doing it for a while. Um, Real quick question. I realize this isn't a topic about fitness, but I wonder what's the weekends like at Bud, Saturdays and Sunday. Fully rested, or are you still working? No, they're pretty laid back, actually. You're not doing Bud's training, but you're licking your wounds. You are getting your gear ready for Monday. Going out to eat, eating some more calories than normal. You get to sleep in a little bit on Sunday, maybe even Saturday. So yeah, it's great. Weekends are awesome, and 3-day weekends are even better. Love them. I have a recurring issue with side stitches despite having good breathing techniques, hydration, and sleep. Do you have any advice? I don't. I don't know. Side stitches are sometimes caused by drinking a lot of water or food and then going running, and you get these stomach starts bouncing with extra fluids in it. That could be an issue. Um, Not to say you should start dehydrated and with nothing in your stomach. It's just sometimes it occurs from just pure things bouncing in your stomach. But I don't have an answer for you. All right, so let's show some CSS videos. Looks like we got some more questions. Where can I find that lightweight shoulder workout? They're in just about every one of my books. But lucky for you, I made an article about it. If you Google lightweight shoulder workout Stu Smith, guess what you'll find on the Google machine? What you're looking for. All right, let me share my screen here because I want to show some CSS videos real quick. Come on now, where are you? Why can't these work? Might have to come back to it. Huh. All right. So that didn't work. So let me try it again. Da, da, da. Okay. Sorry about this, folks. Just takes me a minute to figure this out sometimes. All right, you guys should see this coming up. All right, here we go. I'll be dang. It's not working. That makes no sense. Huh. All right. Well, I might not have any CSS videos to show you. Well, here's what I'm going to do because I posted some of these online. We're going to just find them on my reels, I guess. That sucks. So let me go ahead and answer some questions. I try to figure this out while I answer a few more questions. Some advices for a 38-year-old candidate. How do I speed up the process of promotion during service? What limits? What can I meet? 38-year-old candidate, speed up the process of promotion during service. I'm not sure what you're asking. What limits can I meet? What is this in reference to? Fitness? I mean, I'm not sure how to answer that. Yeah, Harry asked where the lightweight shoulder workout is as well. Looks like I answered that question. How are you guys doing in buds right now? So far, so good. I don't want to get in too much detail with it just because, I don't like singling them out. But yeah, so far they're loving it. They can't believe they're getting paid for what they are doing, which is the right attitude to have out there because it's tough. It's tough living out there. So I'm going to try to go back into my Instagram, see if it's working. I send these messages to myself, and it's just easier to pull up that way. But for some reason, they're not pulling up. Well, that just stinks. What we got here? That's not right. Where's my reels? Oh, it says I'm live. All right, I can't figure it out. Winter Hell Week or Summer Hell Week? Looks like they will probably, a majority of them will have a probably fall Hell Week. So the next class going in, I'm not sure if they're doing one this summer or not, but they might be. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. All right, let's see if this works. Having a little technical issues with my thing. You guys keep asking questions, I'll keep answering them, but I'm just gonna try to play around with my videos that usually pop up no problem, but they are not. So they said their Instagram was having some technical difficulties with some things today in a pop up. So maybe this is what they were talking about. Well, that just sucks. Okay, so here's my answer to it. We're going to fix it with some reels. All right, so we're going to go CSS with fins here. Something you guys may have seen before, maybe not. All right, so you guys see this? This is a good CSS with fins here. I like this one. Trying to make it bigger, but it's not working. So you guys can see here CSS with fins, top arm, bottom arm, kick, 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 kick. Legs are straight. A lot of people tend to look like they're riding a bicycle whenever they are finning. This is how you want to do it. It's mostly hips. You can bend the knees a little bit, but you don't want to look like you're riding a bicycle, like I said. So we usually swim with fins on leg days, like twice a week. Sometimes a third time a week if we're doing like a long cardio day where we'll do a run, ruck, swim type workout for a third time. But sometimes we'll even make that a like freestyle CSS combo workout without fins, like the 50-50 workout. Let's see what else we got here. To pull out or not, this is a great little debate that a lot of people have. Now notice what he just did. He did a pull out. This is one of the best swimmers I've seen do the CSS, by the way. And he's not even a swimming athlete. This is a non-swimming athlete that's got really good streamline, powerful kick. So he did a pull out that first time, and he does a pull out this time. So his 50 was, I think it was like a 44, 45-second 50, which he usually swims about 7:30. So this is what he maintains for a 500. And the next one he does is a pull out, or sorry, without a pull out. And you can see that's really good. There's 2 strokes, 3 strokes, 4 strokes. Look at that. 5 strokes to get to the edge, turn around, come back. Notice how far he gets off the wall. Streamline body position enables that, holds the glide, boom, comes up still past that yellow marker. This is one of the best pull out or non-pull out videos that you can see. I'm telling you, because it shows you that you may not need the pull out at all and just go straight into the stroke. And here's the beauty of it. You get 2 extra breaths. So you see that stroke right there? You just wasted a breath there. Right? So if you're in a conditioning issue where you can't handle that extra stroke without breathing, you may want to take it out because it doesn't slow you down, right? Doesn't speed you up because you're doing it. And you get 2 extra breaths per lap. That's a big one. All right. If you everybody want to just see me swimming, this is how I do it. So top arm, bottom arm, kick and glide. Top arm, bottom arm, kick, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, pull. So I usually try to do like 48-second 50s. Go for an 8, sub 8 sometimes. Top arm, bottom arm, kick. So top arm, turn your head, bottom arm, breathe, kick, hold that glide. So sometimes a picture's worth 1,000 words, a moving picture's worth 10,000. So there you go. That's me. All right, sorry, don't know what happened with my technical difficulties, but we had some today, and them's the breaks. I was hoping it would work a second time, but it did not. All right, I got a couple more questions I can answer, and then got to head out. My scissor kick during the CSS feels weak. Is it more leg days the solution? No, it's technique. I mean, leg days help, but technique of actually learning how to kick is going to be a better option. In fact, I have an article called CSS Help, Fix My Kick. Read that, and there's some kickboard drills in there that will really help you. So CSS Help, Fix My Kick. In fact, I'll CSS Help, Fix Your Kick. Fix My Kick. So the Google machine says, boom, it's called Fix Your Kick. All right, so CSS Help, Fix Your Kick. Check it out. I'll put it over here just to remind you where it is. But you can find it. Just CSS Help, Fix Your Kick. Summit device, 38-year-old candidate. Yeah, you already asked that question. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. Okay. Oh, you're asking what would you recommend, Hell Week or Summer Hell Week? Yeah, you know, when you ask a question, why don't you go ahead and ask the full question? Wasn't sure what you meant by Hell Week or Summer Hell Week. You know, just what would you recommend? Hell Week in the winter or Hell Week in the summer? It matters. I mean, you're going to be a lot colder in the winter, just the way it is, and you're going to run a lot more in the summer. They will get you cold in the summer too, but it's just harder to do. So you tend to just run a little bit more. I will say this: if you look at post Hell Week pictures, and guys send them to me all the time, the guys in the winter Hell Week, there's not a swollen joint on their body. Like that is therapy. Every time you get in the cold water, it is anti-inflammatory. Whereas in the summer, everybody's swollen. Feet are swollen, wrists are swollen, hands, feet, knees, everything's swollen. So does it matter? Yeah. I would say this. Usually my older guys who go prefer the winter option because of the anti-inflammatory recovery effects that the cold water presents. But they do also practice a lot of cold water um, cold water immersion stuff. Like they'll do ice baths and stuff like that just to learn how to handle the shock of the cold water and then mentally push through it and stuff like that. So it's not a bad route. But winter hell weeks are really high attrition, largely because of the cold. And that is it. Um, have to leave for Marine Corps boot camp in 4 weeks. I finished the MARSOC recon program in 3 weeks, wondering how my last week of workout should be. You know what? It's up to you. You can repeat one of those weeks that, find your favorite week and repeat it, or pull back a little bit. Marine Corps boot camp's no joke. I mean, you're going to be running, PTing, rucking. I mean, out of all the military boot camps, it is the hardest. So my salute to Marine Corps boot camp folks. It's tough. And you'll be proud that you finished it. So my advice would be enjoy your last week. Lick your wounds. Go in well rested and go crush being a Marine. Consider that option instead of trying to crush yourself before you go get crushed. Would it be appropriate to ask about the Naval Academy in this live? Sure. Ask about it. What do you want to know about it? Probably my last question, though, because I do need to go. Let's see if I missed any questions. If I did miss some questions, here's what I want you to do. I want you to email me, if you would, stu@stewsmith.com. I will happily answer that question for you. And if you had a question and I didn't understand it properly, won't you just send me a paragraph explaining it a little better in that email, and I might be able to answer it a little more specifically to what you're saying. But you can do that at stu@stewsmith.com. And if you're still around, check out the Live 15 coupon code. You can save on programs like this, and countless others, and save 15%. Live 15 coupon code. All right. I'll email the Naval Academy a question to you. Great. How can I prepare for life saving? Well, have a buddy and practice saving him. Put him in the middle of the pool, swim out to him, and swim them back. We do this workout we call life-saving lunges. Does require a partner. It's a lot of fun. You jump in, he jumps into the pool, goes to the bottom. You dive in after him, pick him up, pull him across the whole other side of the pool. You can find it on YouTube. Call it life-saving and lunges. And then you both hop out of the pool, lunge back to the deep end, and then you reverse the roles. You're now getting saved, and he pulls you across. If you don't have a partner, I don't know what to tell you, because it is a partner-assisted workout. All right, folks. I do need to go. I will chat with you later. Look for another podcast. I'm going to do a Never Quit Mindset podcast probably later in the afternoon. If not today, maybe tomorrow. But trying to change some times, and but you'll see it. If you subscribe to the Instagram and subscribe to YouTube, you'll at least get a notification that I'm going live and we'll be discussing something. So there you go. I appreciate your time. You guys check out Stu Smith Fitness. Tons of articles over there. Use the Google machine if you think I might have written an article about it. Probably have, and you might be able to find it. And if that doesn't help you, send me an email. stu@stewsmith.com. Can't beat that for contact. I will answer them. And I will see you later. Have a good one.